We have our own reporter, ABC Fox Montana's Taylor Chase, live at the scene. She joined us now with the latest details. Taylor.
Social media can be a great thing, whether you're sharing news, keeping in touch with family or friends, or posting fun videos like this one. But law enforcement officials tell me that in times of emergency, social media can be one of their biggest challenges. But some are worried that a new proposed mine could change what is right now crystal clear water to polluted water.
Okay, so maybe I overcompensated just a little bit. But in this kind of dry weather, firefighters say better safe than sorry.
So consider this. When Joe Allen's grandfather first bought the farm right after World War II, he spent about $1,200 on his first tractor, and the price of wheat was going for about $3.50 a bushel. That victim has been placed on the Mercy flight and is being taken in just a few moments to be helped. It sounds actually as if the Mercy flight is about to take off right behind me. So if I were to telecommute, I could technically work here, or even from way out here. Townsend is a small community of only about 2,000 people, and the accident has left residents heartbroken and asking what happened that morning.
After 2 years at Malmstrom Air Force Base, Colonel Tom Wilcox officially passed off his title as commander to Colonel Ron Allen. ABC Fox Montana's Taylor Chase was at today's ceremony and joins us live in the studio now with the details. Taylor.
Yeah, Ben, 8 words. That's all today's ceremony came down to, were 8 simple words, officially changing the title of commander from one colonel to the next. But moving forward, things will become a bit more complicated as Colonel Allen gets settled in his new position. Airmen of all ranks and positions and representatives from throughout the community came together today to send off a commander who can only be described as, well, spirited.
Oh, you guys rock!
Major General Anthony Cotton assisted in the change of command ceremony, and while his speech came with a few moments of laughter, he leaves Colonel Ron Allen with a big task.
So I charge you to build upon the positive changes we've made in processes and culture, and to always move forward in the spirit of continuous improvement to achieve success.
But Colonel Allen is ready for the challenge.
What will define our team's success is how we respond to those challenges, how we remedy those issues, and make sure they don't happen again. And as we grow in this mission and learn to serve our airmen better.
And it helps that Colonel Allen and his family have come to one of the best military towns in the country.
You know, you grow up in this community, and you always hear about Malmstrom Air Force Base. You always hear about Great Falls. There's few others like Great Falls that support and love their airmen as much as this community does. And so I'm just truly looking forward to immersing ourselves into it as well.
So the most important part of the ceremony, the actual change of command, the audience couldn't even hear. But everyone in attendance knew that with 8 simple words, the future of Malmstrom was placed in a new set of hands. Sir, I relinquish command, and sir, I assume command. Now, moving forward, the base will, of course, miss Colonel Wilcox. So if you want to hear his story about his time at Malmstrom, all you have to do is head over to kfbb.com and search Malmstrom Air Force Base. Reporting live in the studio, Taylor Chase, ABC Fox Montana News. Ben, back to you.
About another local business here in Great Falls, one that you've probably drove past several times, but behind the barn doors is a story of friends and perseverance. ABC Fox Montana's Taylor Chase reports.
About 20 years ago, Julie Knight was cleaning out a hoarder's home and began keeping some of the unique things that she found. But then a friend showed up.
Marvin Michelotti came along and asked me why I was throwing away the good stuff and keeping the garbage. He guided me right up until I opened the store. And unfortunately, he passed away just before then, a couple weeks before.
But just because Julie couldn't see him didn't mean she couldn't feel Marvin continuing to push her to follow her passion.
It is definitely a memorial to him. And he helps me out. He's around. He's checking up on me.
So Julie got busy and began turning everyday junk into a business. The barn is a secondhand antique store in Great Falls. It's been open for about 6 years now and business is great. But the opening wasn't quite so smooth. Julie says they opened on Friday the 13th in the middle of a snowstorm and the furnace went out. And the day's profits, let's just say she's doing a bit better now.
Oh, probably $100. But that was 100 more than I had in the bank at the time, so it was a lot.
But for Julie, it's an experience she wouldn't trade for the world.
Very much a learning experience. You learn business, you learn junk, you learn people. Everybody deserves a house they can love to come home to.
In the next few weeks, Julie is starting design classes and hopes to inspire even more creativity in her customers.
And that's what it's all about. If you're not having fun, then you need another job.
Reporting in Great Falls, Taylor Chase, ABC Fox, Montana News.
In the 200 veteran treatment courts across the U.S., we have 3 courts here in the Treasure State, including right here in the Electric City. The very first graduate from our Veterans Treatment Court was Dave Belcher. At 52 years old, he served for 17 years in the Gulf War, but it was once he returned home that his journey began. ABC Fox Montana's Taylor Chase has his story.
Bronze Star, and also had a Unit Valorous Award, and that's for heroism.
Dave Belcher is a 4th-generation veteran, having served 17 years as a platoon sergeant in the Gulf War. But little did he realize that the real battle would start once he returned home.
I hide still. I isolate myself in my house. My neighbors, I think, are afraid of me. They don't come over very much. They don't come over at all. I was taking some money out of a teller machine. I had just got back from combat, and some people came up and beat me up pretty good with some tire irons and sent me to the hospital.
Once in the hospital, it was discovered that Dave suffered from a severe brain injury and post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD. Not long after that, Dave lost a daughter and went through a divorce. Then the substance abuse began.
I just say it that you're alone. You're alone inside, and people need to come around the veterans and help them out. If they don't, then they'll always be alone. And when you're alone, you tend to cause trouble.
But a new program in Great Falls called the Veterans Treatment Court offered the help Dave needed. Founded in 2013, it opts to take veterans through an 18-month program involving mental, physical, and emotional counseling, meant to serve as an alternative to prison.
I mean, we have something like 2.3 million veterans out of Iraq and Afghanistan, and of those, 20 to 30% suffer from PTSD or a traumatic brain injury, and those conditions, by their very nature, untreated, those conditions lead to substance abuse, job loss, homelessness, and once you start down that road, you lead to the criminal justice system by its very nature. So we absolutely have an obligation to help them.
The program also includes mentor relationships, which Dave and his mentor Joe says has turned into a friendship.
We're there for each other. I never want Dave to be without my support. Anything I can do for the rest of his life, I'll be there for him.
Dave graduated from the treatment court this past March. He currently lives and works in Great Falls with his wife, but the scars of combat still have some healing to do.
For me, it'll probably be the rest of my life. I'll always need some kind of treatment, and that's with my brain injury and the PTSD I have. But I'm not afraid to get that treatment anymore, and that's what Veterans Court has given me.
For information on the treatment court and what you can do to help support our local veterans, visit kfbb.com.